Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Ace Attorney Investigation. So we're continuing where we left off. Let's do it here. The Very Big Circus. Okay, yeah, and I will say this is he's Saint has some explaining to do right now. You withheld information from me. Why? Beep! I didn't withhold anything, or at least I didn't mean to. Okay. Are you a member of the very so you are a member of the Very Big Circus, right? No, I mean yes, but no. I'm not really a member, I'm still new. That's irrelevant. You're still a member. Beep. Let's try this again. Why didn't you tell us? Because it would have looked so suspicious, me being a performer in the circus show. And me being friends with Bronco. I thought that if anyone found out, nobody would believe I was innocent. Not even you, Kay. I thought I'd made it clear that I believed in you. But when you stare at me like that, I get so terrified, You're a real smooth operator, aren't you, Miles? Any other client scaring tips you want to share? You're really not helping, Fender. And at this rate, it sounds like we really will need to question him about everything all over again. So what do you do at the circus, Simeon? I'm an animal, tamer, kind of. I'm still learning the ropes. That's so cool. Do you get to train lions and tigers and bears and stuff? Lions, tigers, bears? Oh my, no. I work with this little guy. Looks pretty tame already to me. So you're not exactly a tamer. More like one of those old-timey organ grinders. Not now, money, I'm trying to... Oh, you little scamp. Something tells me it's the organ grinder who's being monkeyed around. The Very Big Circus. When we spoke to you before, you said you worked, at a company. I was telling the truth. The circus really is a company. We have all the titles and everything. The ringmaster's a CEO, and I guess you call me a gopher. I even have a line manager. She's head of the animal taming department. It's part of the showbiz division. She's such an inspiration. There isn't a creature in the world she couldn't convince to do her bidding. Even Miles here? I'd like to see somebody whip him into shape. I am not some kind of creature, Fender. So this line manager, was she working with you on the show? Yes, it was just us two. It wasn't all that big of a job compared to what we normally do. She's usually the one performing on stage. I just do all the monkey work. But I did have a bit part, this time. So only 2 members of the circus are relevant to this case. Rolling the show. Alright, talk me through your movements here at the facility. Sure, I came to see Bronco at around noon 2 days ago. And that was when you brought him the chess set. Yes, and that same evening I started work on setting up the stage in the yard. It was so hard I had to haul everything in by myself over multiple trips. They let us use one of the rooms in the prison for storage. Workshop A, I think. Workshop A, where Knight's body was found. This is not good. This is not looking good for him. He's most likely innocent, but it's not looking good for him. You mean your boss didn't help you? Oh no! I could never ask her to shove all that stuff around. Like I said, the monkey work's my job. Once it was all set up, we did a run-through, and it must have been midnight by that time I left. The next morning, I was back and ready for the show, which started at 8 a.m. Then we performed till 10? So Mr. Saint was the only one of the pair to have entered the room where the body was found. And Knight's body was found immediately after the show had ended. Reason for arrest. Do you have any idea why you were arrested? And why so quickly? I've never seen a guy get booked so fast. Surely even little Winner wouldn't just pull somebody in on a hunch. Never underestimate the power of an underdeveloped intellect. I think I might know why. When I was moving all the stuff, I went to go see how he was doing. Bronco, I mean. You went to the holding cells on your own? Tell me you had permission. No, it wasn't a formal visit or anything, so I just sort of snuck over and hoped no one stopped me. But you just seen him earlier that same day. Why take the risk? I've known him since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. Hey, he doesn't have any family, you see, just like me. I know he'd be feeling lonely, that he wants someone to talk to, so I had to go see him. You don't have any family? For a while I had my dad, but he passed away when I was a little kid. Losing one's father as a child. I know that pain all too well. And that's true, because Miles lost his father when he was young, too. He's just like you and me, Mr. Edgeworth. There was nobody else nearby when you went to see him. No, the other holding cells were empty, and I didn't see any guards. You know, I'm really curious about something. That video that we saw with the, something like jumping on Bronco. I'm really curious if that was actually the monkey that jumped on him, not the dog. Well, somebody must have seen you, or you wouldn't be in there. Oh no, no, I messed up so bad, didn't I? So the assumption is that something happened while the two were alone together. At least I imagine that would be Winner and Judge Gavel's thinking. In any case, I think we'll need to speak to your boss next. Last I heard, she's supposed to be around today too. Somewhere in the yard. Tell her I'm sorry, won't you? I'm so sorry. I can't believe you let this happen. Sure thing, Simeon. We're here for you. If there's anything else we can do, just say the word. But, I mean, that is... There's nothing I can do for you in return. You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club after all. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, we believe you, and we will get you out of here. Well, what do we have here? A gosh darn defense attorney, that's what. Bravo, big guy. I can't believe I'm saying it, but you even reminded me of your old man for a moment there. I did? From the Book of Gregory, an attorney is a friend to the friendless. Simeon me, bucko. This guy will suffer any hardship for your friendship. Things are gonna be simply amazing. I didn't realize Talk Like a Pirate Day had come early this year, Fender. But that's just the thing. You never know when a pirate will strike next. Anyway, kid, you want some candy? No, thanks. I don't like sweet stuff. Oh, huh? Bummer. I wouldn't mind a nice ship myself. A great beef's galleon for the dread pirate K. Yar me hearties. We'll sail the seven seas together and claim the greatest treasure of all, the truth. Shiver me timbers, you two will be the death of me. Come on, let's sail, set sail for the prison yard, but no, shanties on the way, please. Look, the shutter's open. Oh yeah, it is. That's the way out to the yard, I believe. Let's go take a look. Come on, what are you waiting for? Someone's excited. March 28th, 3:37 p.m. Prison yard. So this is the famous yard. The circus performance was taking place here just before the body was discovered. Check it out. It's like the backdrop to some epic festival. Most of the prisoners were assembled here when the body was discovered, which means that anyone who saw the show has an alibi. A map of the facility, including the detention center and the prison proper. Alright, time to take a look around. Eek! Okay. Stop hitting me! Help! Mr. Edgeworth! Oh, God. Cease and desist, you beast. Ah! Somebody out, help me, help me! Stay a Z, stay. Who's that? Oh, you found a new friend to play with. Oh, I recognize her. She's from Turnabout Big Top. I remember her. She's in the original Ace Attorney. Play with? Your elephant really nearly ate me. No way, she'd never do such a thing like that. Azia doesn't even bite, at least not very often. So she does have a taste for human flesh. How did you like meeting a real-life elephant up close? Aren't you glad you did? Yeah, glad I didn't die. But you did have fun, right? Right. There, sweetie. Don't cry. She had a wonderful time, didn't you, Kay? Don't mislead the poor girl, Fender. You did. Oh, I'm so happy. Here, let me make it up to you. How about a hug? Keep your trunk to yourself. Oh, another new friend. Isn't this just the best day ever? I am. Associate Defense Attorney Miles Edgeworth. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Regina. It's so nice to meet you, Regina. Yeah, that's her. I'm Kay, Great Thief Extraordinaire, and Mr. Associate's Defense Attorney's Great Associate. About Regina. I remember her from the original Ace Attorney game. Edgeworth doesn't recognize her, but Francisca would, because it was, Phoenix and, Phoenix versus Francisca. Basically what happened was, there was two circus performers. Acro, and I forget his brother's name, but basically what happened was his brother was in love with Regina and wanted to impress her. And what he did, Regina told him to do was to stick his head inside of a lion's mouth. And the lion was trained. What Regina did was she put pepper onto the scarf that he was wearing, and the lion basically bit his head and killed him. And Acro tried to stop the lion, and the lion attacked him and crippled him, and then her father had to put down the lion with a shotgun. And what ended up happening is Acro tried to kill her, because he blamed her for his brother's death. But what happened instead is that the circus performer realized what was happening, and he went to the location, and then Acro dropped a really heavy item. I forget what Acro dropped, but he dropped something really heavy, and it killed the circus performer. But she was pretty reckless. But the thing about Regina is that Regina was pretty naive, and that she didn't realize that she just killed somebody. So she was a very naive person. That's why she didn't end up getting charged. It was Acro who got charged in the end, but. Yeah, her recklessness, I would say her recklessness is what caused, Acro's brother's death. And also, here's the thing is, Turnabout Big Top in the original Ace Attorney games is probably the most hated case in the original trilogy. And, like, all of the circus people, like, wanted, to date Regina. It was kind of creepy, but it was, it's probably the most hated case in the original Ace Attorney trilogy. But I will say one thing: if you watch the Ace Attorney anime, because the Ace Attorney anime does follow all of the original Ace Attorney cases, the Ace Attorney anime version of Big Top is so much better than the game's version. This self-introduction brought to you by the word convoluted. And your elephant's newest friend is Mr. Fender, the defense attorney. Oh, she's not just any elephant. That's Azia, the Asian elephant. Azia stopped the second you told her to. You really have a way with animals, Regina. Heh. Well, I wouldn't be much of an animal tamer if I didn't. What? So you're Simeon's boss? That's right, Regina Berry, head of the animal taming department, showbiz division. Berry Big Circus. It's so lovely to meet all of you. The pleasure's all ours, mademoiselle. Name's Eddie Fender. I'm a bit of an ace attorney. So much for whipping me into shape. Yes, she's perfect. What are you muttering to yourself about, Kay? That positivity, that charisma, that energy. Regina, you make a perfect partner in crime for the great thief Yadagarazu. Great thief? That sounds like fun. My animals and I have stolen the spotlight quite a bit in our time. That's the one thing we don't want to steal. Gotta keep it on the down low, all stealthy ninja-like. But where's the fun about a show? The down low sounds like it might get me down. Bummer. I think we've got a fundamental difference of opinion going on here. It would indeed appear that negotiations have broken down. Maybe next time, Kay. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, let's get cracking. Too bad we can't see much of what's beyond the metal fence, though. It's electric, too. Indeed. And we're in sore need of information and attention to evidence. Therefore, we should make an effort to talk with any persons of interest as well. Let's talk with her. Regina Berry. If you're the head of the animal taming department, you must be Mr. Saint's boss. That's right. My dad founded the Berry Big Circus. Yeah, her dad's dead. He died in Turnabout Big Top. But he passed away. He was murdered. I'm sorry to hear that. But we have a new ringmaster now, and he's made the circus bigger and better than ever. He's such a nice man, and he was a good friend of my dad's too. Wow, that's great. Lucky you. Is it the clown? I know, right? It was his idea to set up the departments like animal taming, magic, and ventriloquy. Only animal taming and ventriloquy have more than one person right now. But the very big circus is getting bigger and better day by day. Sounds like you guys are really going places. They're getting on well. I'll leave them to it. Can you tell me about the show? Oh, it's a wonderful thing. It even has a story. And not just any story. It's a love story. Isn't that dreamy? Heh, sounds like a regular riot. So who's the star of the show? Let me guess. You? No, silly. That would be Azia. And he falls in love with none other than Regent the Tiger. It's a heart-rending saga of forbidden interspecies romance. Whoa, Nelly. I've heard of odd couples, but that really takes the biscuit. And that's not all. They're a love triangle too. It's so romantic. That sounds pretty incredible, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? So the elephant is the heroine? I suppose there's a first time for everything. And, who's the third wheel? Oh, that would be the big old meanie who tries to tear our star-crushed lovers apart. What animal do you think it is, Mr. Edgeworth? Given that it's a circus, perhaps a lion? It's probably the monkey. I think a raven would be cool, like the Yatagarazu. Hehe, nope, it's a sneaky monkey. Yep, I guessed it. That's certainly lowered the stakes. Oh, you mean, money, right? Nope again, the role of the monkey is played by Simeon. What? Money's far too small to play against Azia and Regent, silly. Anyway, the evil villain tries to tear Azia and Regent apart. What will become of the fatal twosome? It's so exciting, isn't it? Ooh, wow, it sure is. So Mr. Saint was more than just the little helper he claims to be. Poor Simeon. It'd be terrible if he couldn't perform with us anymore. Show preparations. Can you tell me about how you set things up for the performance? Oh, that's not really my area. Simeon took care of all the lifting and carrying. He's such a sweetie. He offered to do everything by telling me to concentrate on the show. I did see him doing something near that, well, though. Well, I recall seeing one behind the stage. I should examine it in more detail. You should have seen him moving those huge cages around all by himself. He's a total hero. Yeah, sounds like something he would do. Weeping all the while. He was going back and forth between the yard here and some sort of workshop with all the equipment. The prison gave us special permission to use it for storage. But he was the only one who went down there, so I don't know much more than that. The workshop must be the one where Knight's body was found. I guess this confirms Mr. Saint was the only performer to have gone into Workshop A. Well, this sucks. All we're getting is information that works against us. You have to help Simeon, Mr. Attorney. We're all counting on you. Just leave it to us. He may not look it. Mr. Edgeworth knows how to get things done. And what exactly is he may not look it supposed to mean? Hey! Who are you shouting at? Ponds like this usually have goldfish in them, right? I wanted to see if they'd come say hello. I only see water striders. Hey, water striders are cool. They can walk on water like ninjas. Whoosh, whoosh. Man, I wish I could do that. So much for the goldfish. What's with this fence? Danger. High voltage. I never saw one of these in real life. Is it that good of an idea having the elephant that close to it, too? Hey, that must be the fabulous garden outside the warden's office over there. Ah yes, Warden Lagarde mentioned being able to see it from her window on the detention center side. Wish this dumb barbed metal fence wasn't in the way, though. I thought it was all one big yard. Given how protective the warden seemed of her little bit of earth, I imagine it's to keep riffraff like us out. There you are! Oh, it's the warden. Regina, cupcake. Oh, Warden Lagarde. I've been simply dying to sit you down for a chat, you exquisite little thing. The prison. Do you mind if I ask you a little about the prison? Oh, not at all. This place is my pride and joy, my home. Sure, it was a prison when I first arrived, and it was awful and utter disgrace. Awful. I suppose you mean the prisoners were unruly. I most certainly do not. They're angels, every one of them, and they always have been. No, it was the ambience that was awful. I fretted, I brooded, and then it hit me. The animals. If anyone could brighten up the place, it was them. It is nice having them around. Isn't it just? And now look at my fabulous little family. Why, my darling Frankie's the very picture of rehabilitation. Except when he's riffling through dead man's pockets. Mr. Sowett. We have so many success stories among the family, but darling Frankie really is a marvel. He's thrown himself into his vocational training, and is always the first to volunteer for everything. What, and your, other model prisoners don't do that? Hmm? Oh, of course they do, my dear. Of course. They're all such triers, such doers. It's just that Frankie, let's just say he knows what's good for him. What exactly does she mean by that? Anyway, he's a very good boy, so do try to be nice to him, won't you? The Very Big Circus. Loud soaring music, great leaping animals. The Very Big Circus truly has it all. Hee, and everybody who comes here gets to see it once a month. Really? In that case, let me see. She better not be thinking of something to confess to. This monthly show, is it always performed by the Very Big Circus? But of course, sweetie, I'm Regina's biggest fan. That girl's my little princess, my superstar. She's so wonderfully talented. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And she's so adorable, so sweet. I could just gobble her right up. You're not lying when you say you're her biggest fan, huh? Which is why I'm worried about her. So worried. It's all because of poor Simeon, you see. If he's found guilty, why, darling Regina will be devastated. So you simply must make sure that doesn't happen, Mr. Lawyer. Please, I'm begging you. If there's anything I can do to help you clear up this awful misunderstanding, you do let me know. Power room. This door appears to be locked. Want me to open it? Can't guarantee anything, but I'll certainly give it a try. No. If we deem it necessary, we'll simply ask for the key. Spoil sport, that could have been my chance to shine. You're free to shine somewhere else, but you'll not make an audience out of me. This must be the stage for the show. Do you think people would be interested in a great thieving show? I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend. A wicker basket, or rather a cart, given the wheels. Hoof, smells like animals. I suppose they must have been using it to move things around. Hey, wouldn't it be fun to hop in and race it down a hill? Oh, you know what else would be fun? Racing down a hill on office chairs. Where did any of that come from? An Asian elephant named Azia, and one of the Very Big Circus's many animals. She certainly seems very fond of petting humans, based on what we've seen. Well, most humans. You can't just glare at her like that, Mr. Edgeworth. She'll think you're trying to show her who's boss. Are you telling me she thinks I'm one of her kind? No, just that she respects you, I guess. How comforting. Is this Simeon Saint? Ah, Mr. Attorney, sir, and how are you today? It's Mr. Sowett here. Today, we just talked to you earlier, Mr. Sowett. Oh heavens, I do apologize. Ever since I came to call this place home, I've been working on my interpersonal skills, you see? In order to be as annoying as possible. I'm currently helping out the circus show stage tear down and clean up. But if you have any need of me, I'll do my utmost to help. Helping out. I'm just chipping in and doing what I can, model prisoner that I am. Yes, my stay in this prison has seen me reborn. The Frank Sowett you see before you is a changed man. Sure, changed man, who now targets the recently deceased. No, you misunderstand. That was just a moment of madness. A moment of madness, you're a disgrace to all thieves everywhere. You're right, of course. I can't deny it. I still have a long way to go. As a thief. Anyway, as you can see, I have a shiny new bracelet now. So it's a straight and narrow for me. Like I say, I'm a model prisoner. Not that a real model prisoner would need to keep telling me that. Vocational training. I'm doing everything I can to prepare for my eventual return to society. Yeah, you even skipped the show to focus on your training, didn't you? That's right. Only 2 inmates were absent. Sowett and Canis. Why didn't you tell us about Mr. Canis sooner? Ah, that. Look, I don't think there's an inmate in this prison who'd talk about him if they didn't have to. He's, well, you could say he's the real one in charge around here. You didn't hear it from me, but, well, I guess it comes with being the fixer. The fixer. Yes, anything you need, he can get it for you. But how does he get away with it? I'm not sure, but he's the only one who does. I heard he has a secret way of getting things into the facility. I imagine being the fixer affords Canis certain privileges. Not that I concern myself with such things anymore, of course. I'm far more interested in perfecting my mud pack application technique. And what are these mud packs exactly? They're a special type of mud treatment, rich with minerals. It works wonders on their coats. I've been practicing on the animals here in the prison. I hope to treat them all eventually. Speaking of mud, that reminds me of a certain piece of evidence. Maybe I should try presenting it to him. Okay, it's not this one. I think it's this wiping away the stuff in his room, this. It's not this one, That's the rubber glove I dropped. Would you care to explain why it's so dirty? Oh, of course. That's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened. I see. Around what time would this have been? Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps. The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance quite like the trance one enters when one slathers an animal with thick, black mud. I think the stress of prison might be getting to him. Found in Workshop A, sullied after being worn by Salad when administering a dark mud pack treatment, also bloodstained. Of course, it's all thanks to the warden that we have access to such wonderful distractions. I'm eternally grateful, truly I am. Okay, this is where Saint was. A simple, sturdily built wall. Wonder if it was the work of the prisoners. Somebody left a bunch of tools lying around. There's a long piece of rope, and a pretty heavy-looking weight. Let's see. It weighs 30 pounds. Oh, and there are some pulleys, too. Okay, can you stop touching everything in sight? Oh, come on, it's not like I was gonna take anything. What exactly were they being used for, I wonder? Regina, darling, you put on the most splendid show for us yet again. The stage, the stars, and you in particular, my princess. It was simply divine. That's so nice of you. I hope everybody else who watched it enjoyed it too. About that, dear, I'm afraid I have something awful to confess. There were some absences, you see. She must mean Canis and Sawit. We were 3 members short. Unbelievable, I know. How will you ever forgive me? 3? I'm sorry, but you're saying 3 inmates didn't attend the show. That's right, sweetie. I counted the seats myself. 1, 2, 3, no. Who's the 3rd? And I always make sure there are enough seats for everybody. But Mr. Edgeworth, that's not right, is it? It was 2, yeah. Indeed. As far as we are aware, Mr. Canis and Mr. Sawit were the only ones not present. This doesn't add up. Who was the 3rd missing prisoner, and what were they doing? It seems we need to investigate further. Oh, I was enjoying my chat with dear Regina so much, I almost forgot. I must be the little one. Little one. Yikes. Crocodile? It's an alligator. You're looking as adorable as always, Allie, my sweet. Aw, she's so pretty. And what a cute name. Yes, Allie the alligator. Isn't she a darling? She's my favorite, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm so jealous. Can I pet her? Of course, princess, of course. Yeah, I want to pet the alligator. Boy howdy, these two were made for one another. They look like they'll be busy for a while. Maybe we should go back inside the prison and check the cells. Yes, let's. Perhaps we can find a clue there as to who our third missing prisoner might be. March 28, 4:02 p.m. Prison corridor. Sir, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Whoa, I finally caught up with you. Oh, it's Gumshoe. Detective, you're not needed elsewhere? No, the judge and the kid aren't here yet. Oh, and I got your message. So you searched the victim's cell. Did you manage to turn anything up? We struck gold, sir. Well, blood anyway. It was right there on the floor. Only in tiny specks, though, but at least it's something. Yeah, it proves that the holding cell was the scene of the crime, right? Not quite. It proves a possibility, but it's not conclusive yet. I thought you'd say that, sir, which is why I ordered some follow-up work. I asked forensics to analyze the blood and see if it matches the victim's. They're on it as we speak. Nice work, Gummy. You thought of everything. Detective, I must say, I'm impressed. Did you hit your head or something? Gee, don't look so surprised, sir. I just hope things continue to go in our favor. There are signs that blood was wiped from the floor of the victim's cell. We're currently checking whose blood it is. Alrighty, so that's proof that the murder happened in a detention center. And for our next trick, we'll find out how that dog got over there. Don't worry, you can leave that one to me. Until the kid and his chaperone get here, we've got the whole prison to ourselves. Which is why I brought my secret weapons along. Secret weapons? That's right, a few tools of the trade that have helped me bust more than a few cases wide open. Behold, the 7 secret weapons of Dick Gumshoe, ace detective extraordinaire. Well, I don't know about you crazy cats, but I'm sold. Miles? Very well, detective. We'll try using your secret weapons. You got it, sir. Let me run you through the list. Secret weapon number 1, my trusty old metal detector. Oh, that thing. Yeah, I remember Gumshoe's metal detector is actually what put Von Karma in prison, because Von Karma had a bullet inside of him from years ago. If it's made of steel, silver, or scrap, this little guy right here will find it. So, it detects metal. Very good, detective. Next up, secret weapon number 2, Missile, everyone's favorite crime-fighting canine. He can track pretty much any scent you put in front of him, especially food. He sure is a lot cuter than Mr. Canis' dog. And now for secret weapon number 3. Where'd I put it? Haha. Am I one snapper short of school, or is that a fishing rod? Don't tell me we're going fishing for clues. No, I mean, I just happen to have it with me is all. I see. Well, onwards and upwards, detective. Let's see what else you have. That's all she wrote, sir. Gummy, you're 4 secret weapons short of your so-called 7, and one of them was a fishing rod. Sorry, but that's all for today, okay? I'll, show you the rest next time. Who do you think I call him, why do you think I call him secret? Guy can't go around sharing everything at once, that's crazy. In that case, then I suppose the 3, you've deigned to reveal to us, will have to do for now. Alright, which one do you want to try, first, sir? Not the fishing rod. Let's do missile. You got it, sir. Hey, missile, here, boy. Oh, you really came. So what are we tracking? We're trying to find out how Mr. Canis' dog got to the holding cells in the first place. I suspect the same route was used to bring Knight's body back to the prison. So we give the pooch a sniff of the body. And he'll find that route for us. Oh, does anyone else smell something sweet? All I smell is the odor of blood. It's faint, sir, but it's there. Almost like cake, maybe. Why would the body smell of cake? Okay, Missile, get a noseful. Here we go. Follow that dog. That's the way to... He's headed for maximum security. Uh-oh. He's going in. And we'll just have to follow after him. Where is Body Harmon right now? March 28, 4:24 p.m. Prison maximum security. This is Canis' cell, though the man himself is absent, it seems. Is he meeting with someone in the visitor's room? Do you think Missile's onto something? Looks like maybe he is. What? Is there something here? Let's get snooping, Mr. Edgeworth. What's with this? It's tied to a bell. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, the chisel on the floor is a bit smaller than the others. I'm no woodworker, perhaps it's an all-purpose one that can be used, in a pinch regardless of the job. An all-purpose pocket chisel. Makes sense, always nice when your tools are useful and easy to carry. Is that your opinion as a thief? No, it's my opinion as a great thief. I would have walked in that one. Mr. Canis' chess set, complete with his special dog piece. That's not a chess set, that's a whole chess table with legs. Looks like it might be worth something too. It's not inconceivable, some of them are, and this is quite a nice one. I never would have pegged Mr. Canis as a chess fan though. What with the whole Eastern aesthetic he's got going? I thought he'd be more into Go. Go, huh? Can you play? I can play Go Fish. Not the same thing, Kay. Not even close. Tea and rice crackers. Mr. Canis clearly didn't lack, for comforts. I can think of worse ways to spend my time in jail than drinking tea and playing chess. I thought this was maximum security, not maximum comfort. How come nobody else gets a special treatment? Complaining to me isn't going to help. Perhaps you could take it up with the man himself. Yikes! No thanks. Mr. Canis' chisels, every one a potential murder weapon. That reminds me of something. The furrows in your brow. When you frown, it looks like somebody's took a chisel to your forehead. I have no idea what you mean. See? They're so deep. Don't tell me you don't see it, Mr. Wood-carving face. Have you quite finished? What? Hmm? What's the matter, boy? Wait. Is this cake what you were after? Whoa, 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 down, boy. Stop that. No, you can't have it. Dogs can't eat chocolate. You know that. Yeah, dogs can't. It's poisonous to them. If you won't behave, I'll just have to eat it myself. Oh, that's not a good idea. Not bad. Heh, that's some real outside the chocolate box thinking there. Not sure everybody agrees, though. Gummy! I once did some. Daring of you both to assume the food in prison is safe to eat, well, daring or dumb. Oh, so anyway, it looks like it really was cake Missile was tracking. Talk about a waste of time. I suppose we got our just desserts. But the little guy's definitely capable, right? Oh, sure he is. That was just a blip. He'll follow the right side this time, I promise. Seek, boy. Oh, I think he's onto something. Whatever it is, it's in there. Mr. Soretto's cell. Mr. Incarcerated. That's probably what it means. We need to take a look inside. Detective, call the guard. Yes, sir. Also, prisoners don't have a Fourth Amendment protection like right to illegal search and seizures because they're in a prison and it's a government building. So they really don't have a right to privacy. Thank you, officer. A question before we begin. So, corrections officers can go through their cell anytime they want. Is the prisoner, Mr. Carceretto, still in solitary? No, sir. He came back a little while ago. And he was in here for the new roll call. Guess he must be on work duty someplace. I see. Now, if you would be so kind as to open his cell. Yes, sir. No way, he has a poster of himself. And right next to it is, looks like he never lost the habit of making weight for a fight. Once a boxer, always a boxer, I suppose. I see he also has quite the collection of supplements. Muscle protein. Hustle protein. What's hustle protein? Soul crushing protein. Yeah, that's a lot of protein. Surely nobody trains like this for nothing. So how many minutes do you think this timer is for, Mr. Edgeworth? A minute. Well, Mr. Carceroto is a boxer, so 3 minutes would be my assumption. Same as the length of a round in boxing. Thanks for playing, but the correct answer is kind of maybe about 2 minutes. Why? Because there is a crack in it, and a bit of the sand spilled out. Why does it hurt so much when she's right? It says Teddy in extremely poor handwriting, so this tire belongs to the bear. I wouldn't have thought it, but Mr. Carceroto and his Ursine partner seem really close. Wow, this takes me back. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, did you have a swing like this as a kid? Not that I can recall, no. So, what did you do for fun when you were a kid? Chess, golf, flute practice. Did you have any friends? Why would you even think to ask that? Look at the punching bag, it looks like the warden. Yeah, it definitely looks like the warden. This punching bag is certain. Hey, what breed were you again? A missile surely wasn't a boxer. What's going on? Huh? No way! No way indeed. Quickly, detective, move the sandbag aside. Yes, sir. What is that, a hole? A hole could this be? Whoa there, wait, missile. I'm going in too. Wait, stop. Sir, I'll go get her. Ooh, that's tight. Shouldn't have eaten that cake. He's gone. Well, I'm not going in there. Guess we'll just have to wait. Yeah, Edgeworth's not gonna go in there with his nice clothes. Hello, Kay? Are you alright? You're not gonna believe this, but we're in the detention center. The detention center? That hole, it's a tunnel that leads right into Mr. Knight's cell. What? What? Oh, he said it too. Don't go anywhere, I'm on my way. March 28, 5:04 p.m. Detention center. Holding cell. So this is how they move the body? Okay. Hey there, Mr. Edgeworth. Guess you could say we made a breakthrough. Quite. At least they came out unscathed, I think. Sir, the floorboards under the bed were torn up. So that's how they did it. There's no doubt about it. This must be the route we've been looking for. The corridor connecting to the detention center and the prison is locked away by heavy security doors. But with the help of this tunnel, it can be circumvented. It was a sweet scent that started this whole search. Could it be that the scent was in fact coming from Knight's body after all? Killed instantly by a stab wound to the throat. There is also a small cut on his scalp from when he suffered a blow to the head. A sweet scent can be detected. Incidentally, Knight's body was covered in dirt. Dirt that might have come from being dragged through this tunnel. Okay, what was it like down there? Well, it was pitch black, so I couldn't see a whole lot. Luckily, my camera had a flash, so I took some pictures. Let's see what you've captured. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, wow, he said it too. Look at that. Spoons, a fork, guess these were for digging the tunnel. That aside, are those footprints? Paw prints even, from a dog perhaps. A photo of the tunnel between the prison and the detention center. It seems to depict paw prints of a dog. This is a vital piece of evidence. However, it begs something of question. It does. Mr. Carceroto has certainly been making use of this tunnel, which means... Detective, we need to find out where Mr. Carceroto is immediately. If my suspicions are correct. Huh? Oh, nuts. The guards were alerted and they began searching for Mr. Carceroto right away. But after a thorough investigation of both the prison and the detention center, he was nowhere to be found. Oh, great. He escaped. March 28, 5:34 p.m. Detention center. Corridor. Well, have the police been notified? Yes, ma'am. We finished liaising with them a moment ago. They've set up a cordon around the entire facility. Good. The first blemish on a prison's spotless reputation is always the ugliest. It won't happen again, ma'am. A rather different warden in regard to the one we've seen so far. Mr. Edgeworth, was it? I really can't thank you enough for finding that tunnel, darling. Sadly, it may have been too little too late. It seems he might have already left the building. I'd say that's unlikely, Warden. After all, there's a security gate at the exit to the detention center. You're not suggesting he simply walked through it. The prison guard outfit. The prison guard outfit. He took that and he walked through it with that. The missing outfit, the missing guard uniform. Oh man, he walked through it. What day is today's March 28th? March 26th it was stolen. What's to say there was only one tunnel, sweetie? I suppose that's true. Well, whatever the case, this is no time to be standing around chit-chatting. Mr. Edgeworth, would you mind continuing with your investigation? It'll be my pleasure. And you three can get back to your posts. Yes, ma'am! Detective, the results of the blood test just came back from the lab. Thanks, pal. Let's see what they have to tell us about the blood found in Knight's cell. What does it say, Mr. Edgeworth? They've identified the blood, and it's Knight's. There are signs that blood was wiped from the floor of the victim's cell. The blood has been confirmed as Knight's. Nice job, everybody. Teamwork makes the dream work. But there's one thing I don't understand. The tunnel would have blood, too. But did they wipe the entire tunnel? I don't think they would have gone to such great lengths to wipe the blood from the tunnel. Well, yeah. Well, they probably dragged him through the tarp, which is probably why there was no blood in the tunnel. We've got Knight's blood in his holding cell. A tunnel a dog clearly went through. And security footage showing Knight being attacked by the dog in his cell. Case closed. We have to find all the evidence we need. Let's see what Mr. Canis has to say for himself. Canis. Oh, darlings, are you sure? Do be careful around him, won't you? He's as well connected on the outside as he is in here. I suppose he would have to be. How else would the so-called fixer stay in business? The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even if I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. So that's what, that was all about. He's still not talking, ma'am. Even with the evidence you borrowed from the precinct? No. And I've tried so many times I've lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a blank report. I guess a killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack. You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation. Is that correct? Why, yes, sweetie. Everything related to Canis is with me now. Heavens knows how many times I've called this, secretive scoundrel to my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say or how much evidence I present him with, he simply won't say a word. Prison warden conducting the interrogations herself. That's irregular to say the least. Let your guard down and he'll deliver your whole, be careful, darlings. You have been warned. Ow! And here I thought things couldn't get any spicier. Oh, Gavel and Winner are here. Judge Gavel, I didn't expect to find you here. We have been conducting inquiries, which given that we are in charge of the investigation is hardly strange. What is strange is that you are still here, Mr. Edgeworth. I gave you a warning, did I not? I told you that your badge was at risk, sure to paths cross again, and yet here you are. I'm sorry that you thought that I might be so easily discouraged, Your Honor. But I am not about to let the truth slip from my grasp, no matter what you or the committee might say. I'm here to present a certain someone with evidence that you yourself should have uncovered. You should have more business with me, I take it, Mr. Edgeworth. I do. I promised I would be back to prove that you were the killer, and here I am. This should be amusing. Very well, whenever you are ready.
Objection!
Not so fast. We have some truths of our own to share. First-rate deductions, in fact. Indeed, we are now more certain than ever that Simeon Saint was the murderer, and that only he could have moved Mr. Knight's body from his holding cell to the prison proper. We shall prove this to you beyond the shadow of a doubt. But first, question. Are you quite determined to continue on this course, Mr. Edgeworth? Should you fail to rebut our deductions, there will be no going back. Your very career hangs in the balance. What? You mean you'll take his badge if you don't like how this goes? That's intimidation. Not at all. If anything, I'm showing him mercy. This is not Mr. Edgeworth's case. It never was, and I am under no obligation to hear him out. If he is prepared to accept the potential ramifications of his actions, I will allow him one last chance. Well, are you truly willing to take the risk? To put your beloved badge on the line? Mr. Edgeworth. Sir! I accept your terms. I'm confident in my reasoning. And what's more, I am representing the firm of Edgeworth & Co. And I do not intend to besmirch its name. My duty will be done, and I will not be intimidated. Very well. Let us see whether you are brave or simply reckless. By the power vested in me by the almighty goddess of justice. Let this judgment commence. Eustace, if you will allow me. Fine by me. He's all yours, Cavell. How Knight wound up in the prison proper. You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Later, in the middle of moving a large animal cage, Mr. Saint stopped by Mr. Knight's cell for a little visit. That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage, and there he hid as he was wheeled to one of the prison workshops. It figures she was going to bring up Mr. Saint going to Knight's cell. Yesterday, after you so kindly made us aware of this security camera footage, we decided to take a look at it ourselves. Perhaps you would like to see what we found. This is a still from the footage we received. So this is Knight was still alive. Mr. Saint speaking with Knight at his cell. Correct. You will also take note that he has positioned the cage in such a way to obscure the camera's view. It is this blind spot that Mr. Knight exploited in order to enter the cage undetected. A sound deduction based on what we can be observed when you say. A blind spot, which means that the camera wouldn't have been able to capture the moment Knight entered the cage, if he did at all. So it's still possible he didn't actually leave his cell at this point. I don't get it. Why would Mr. Knight want to hide in the cage? There's really only one possibility. He intended to escape. A prison break, that's so cool. Mr. Carceretto, Mr. Knight, everyone's doing it. I have to step up my game. Okay, now is really not the time. Mr. Carceretto's escape is no laughing matter, so yeah, what it means is Mr. Incarceretto, incarcerated. That's what it basically means, his name. It is my belief Mr. Saint helped Mr. Knight with his escape attempt. That is to say, he was his accomplice. Wow, Gossamine, but what's the motive exactly then? That wasn't a compliment. I understand that the cage was briefly taken to one of the workshops. I imagine that had things gone to plan, Mr. Knight would have remained in the cage until after the show, and then removed from the premises along with the rest of the circus's equipment. Unfortunately for Mr. Knight, Mr. Saint had other ideas. He killed his friend in cold blood. Judge Cavell's argument seems reasonable, but there must be a fault in her logic somewhere, and I'm going to find it. You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume.
Hold it!
Your Honor, about this incident. You have heard about it, of course. Surely any attorney worth his salt would have his sources. Yes, I'm aware of it, of course. I simply wish to confirm. Then you are wasting both our time. Shall we continue? She's very direct to the point. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys.
Hold it!
Do you have any proof that Knight stole the keys? I can think of no other reason for him to carry out such a brutal attack. Once the guard he assaulted regains consciousness, I am sure he will confirm our suspicions. I wouldn't be so sure. Perhaps I should press her further on her reasoning. Press further. Sorry, but I believe there is a flaw in your reasoning. If Knight had the keys, there was nothing to stop him from leaving whenever he wanted. Why wait for Mr. Saint? There was no help need, surely. He chose the option deemed most likely to succeed. He stole the keys and hid them somewhere, then waited for an opportune moment to present itself. He hid the keys. I'm afraid you might have made an uncharacteristic oversight, Your Honor. But Knight wasn't hiding any keys. That has been proven already. And this is the piece of evidence that proves that Knight didn't have the keys. Prison search. There was a prison search. There's a clear contradiction in your testimony, Judge Cavell. Oh, this isn't it? Silence. Such statements Well, they were searching for a murder weapon. I would think that they would find a key also, if... and why not? What? The day before the body was found, the guard assigned to return Knight to his cell was knocked unconscious single blow. The guard's keys in the holding cell were stolen, but Knight's denied having taken them. Knight's cell supposedly thoroughly searched, but no keys were found.
Hold it!
Skip through this, press further, Mr. Knight's cell key, this.
Take that!
Since you know about the incident, I assume you must already know this, but after the assault, the guards searched both Knight and his cell, and no keys were found. And if their whereabouts of the keys cannot be proven, then neither can your theory. I've considered the matter of the missing keys, and I do not think it is such an issue. I still believe he had them. After all, the guards only stated that they weren't able to locate them. And this is because they were cleverly hidden inside the pocket chest set. Knight chest set, same set in which the murder weapon was also allegedly hidden. Was it? I can't help but wonder about that. What? But you're the one who proposed it. Actually, if you recall, that was Eustace's assertion. So the two of them aren't one mind on this, I take it. Allow me to restate the facts. Mr. Knight hid the keys he stole from the guard inside his chest set. When Mr. Saint came to see him, Mr. Knight used the keys to open his cell and climbed inside the cage. He was then moved from his holding cell to that workshop in the prison proper. All with the help of his friend and accomplice. Had things gone according to plan, he would have been taken out of the facility after the show. But they did not. Instead, his accomplice murdered him while the show was taking place in the yard.
Objection!
But Mr. Saint was part of the performance. How would he even had time to commit the murder? How indeed? Allow me to explain. As you know, many stage performances follow a set narrative. Yesterday's show was one such example. She's done her homework, I see. The suspect played the role of the antagonist opposite the elephantine heroine of the show. In the latter part of the performance, the heroine's love prevails, and the villain is defeated. This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage by the heroine. He's sent flying by the elephant. Isn't that dangerous? Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. In other words, the suspect did not appear on stage for a period of approximately 15 minutes. And you're saying that crime took place during that time? Yes, I'm afraid so. After all, it's more than a sufficient window, wouldn't you say? Committing the crime and returning to the stage in that short 15-minute window is only possible, assuming that the murder took place in the prison proper. When in fact, Your Honor, the real scene of the crime was Knight's cell. I seem to remember telling you that I would not accept that part of the security footage into evidence. But it's not that evidence, and you won't have to. I have proof of a different kind. Very well. Would you be so good as to present it? What proof do you have that the murder took place in the victim's holding cell? The blood. There are signs that blood was wiped from the floor of the victim's cell. The blood has been confirmed as Knight's. This, the white blood. This appears to be a photograph of a floor. Almighty guys of justice, grant me patience. That floor you're just so dismissive of, Your Honor, has traces of Knight's blood on it. Traces, you say? Is this evidence reliable? I think I know what she might do. She might say that that blood was from when the guard hit Knight. That's probably what she's gonna say. After all, I don't believe you have access to the necessary forensics operatives. Heh, I have my resources. A certain blunt instrument, you might say, but a reliable one. The detective, how very fortunate for him. Perhaps before you decided to circumvent the law, you might have considered that the committee's influence extends to the police. Ha ha ha. Oh no, now Gummy's badge is on the line too. Forgive me, detective, I didn't mean to put you at risk as well. I will enter the fact that Mr. Knight's blood was found in the holding cell into evidence. However...
Objection!
Hey, bad luck, idiots. You're really on the edge now, Mr. Worthless. Mr. Winner, I'd forgotten you were there. It was nice, while it lasted. I just butted in to tell you that your entire argument is one big inconsistency. You showed us camera footage of a dog killing Mr. Knight in his cell. Are you saying that Mutt also wiped the blood up before it left the scene? Uh-oh. What other tricks can it do, huh? A blood-wiping dog? You're a joke. You'd have wiped that blood up, wouldn't you, boy? Yes, Helmet. Yes, you would. What? That was one of the tricks I taught him before our work together was so rudely, cut short. He's a very tidy boy, you know. Never misses a drop. It wouldn't do to leave any evidence, after all. Why is he admitting to this? Saved by an assassin of all people. Jeez Louise, you could have just taught the little guy to shake hands. Oh. He does, that marvelously, too. Although, the way I taught him to do it is somewhat unorthodox. First, he bites down hard on the victim's hand. Then... Well, I'm not listening. I see. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems you may have gathered some evidence worth considering. Your understanding is much appreciated. Wait, I'm not done yet. I just thought of something else. Overruled. Ooh boy, somebody's taken no prisoners. Eustace, would you be so kind as to allow me? All yours, Gavel. Well, do you accept the truth now? The crime took place in Knight's holding cell, and the assassin's dog was the killer. My position is the same as it was yesterday. Until you explain how the dog moved between the prison and the detention center. I cannot accept your theory and evidence.
Hold it!
I thought you might say that, which is why I'd like to show you something else. This piece of evidence shows how the dog could have freely traveled between the prison and the detention center. The tunnel, yeah.
Take that!
This is... It's a secret passageway. It runs beneath the prison. What? What? A secret passageway? It was dug by one Mr. Rocco Carceretto, escapee. It leads from his prison cell to a certain holding cell in the detention center. Yes, the very one where the victim was being held. Well, this is certainly a surprise, to think that it was beneath our feet this entire time. Mr. Canis, you knew of this tunnel, didn't you? Because it's the same tunnel that was used to carry out the murder. In the name of the gods of justice. Overruled, Mr. Edgeworth. You are out of line. How so, Your Honor? Evidence is everything, whether in a court of law or at the scene of an investigation. Isn't that your little catchphrase? Well, it just so happens that I have some evidence of my own. Bronco Knight's autopsy report. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's see. His autopsy report. It's not funny that Edgeworth is given the autopsy. That it's a meme in the Ace Attorney community. Now Edgeworth is given the autopsy report. When did we get that? How do you not know you had it? The police handed it to me only a short while ago. The findings are still preliminary, but it's something to value to tell us nonetheless. The gods of justice speaks to us through these pages, Mr. Edgeworth. Because of death, stab wound to the throat, and the weapon is said to be a sharp blade of some sort. It seems that the victim was stabbed repeatedly in the same spot, resulting in an ugly wound. As such, the police have yet to identify the exact shape of the weapon, but its overall nature seems to be beyond question. It's a bladed metal instrument. In light of this evidence, do you truly wish to continue with your flight or fantasy? Or will you now claim that the dog used a knife instead? But that's impossible. That will be all. This court is adjourned. But the tunnel, the paw prints. What of them? Helmet is something of a wanderer. Perhaps he just happened to cross the tunnel one day. Although, I couldn't say for certain, I myself cannot wander quite so freely. That would be quite a coincidence, but I can't prove it's not the case either. Sure, she knows how to keep a secret, huh? Kinda wish she'd kicked us in the teeth a little while earlier with that. She was baiting me, waiting for the perfect moment to crush me with that autopsy report. And I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You are a lead attorney for the defense, correct, Mr. Fender? This is the interim autopsy report in question. I do apologize for the delay. Yeah, no sweat. Thanks for hooking us up. The interim report says the cause of death was a stab wound to the neck, inflicted by a sharp blade. Death was instantaneous. Yep, this all checks out. Yep. Mr. Fender, handshake's not necessary when receiving official court documents, you know? So please feel free to let go of my hand. It's not a holy relic after all. Was just trying to be friendly, Your Honor. Had you lingered a moment longer, the gods of justice would have spoken to you through my gavel. She would have hit him. Alright, I got it. Nice work, Gavel. Just like we planned it. I did only as you instructed, Eustace, but thank you. This report came from the police. I have no choice but to accept its legitimacy. But if the dog didn't kill Mr. Knight, then that takes Canis out of the running. The God's justice speaks to me, Mr. Edgeworth, and she's merciful. She tells me that you might yet keep your badge if you will finally abandon this fruitless quest. What's on our move, sir? I think she really means it this time. What do you think, Detective? My answer remains the same, Judge Gavel. I will see my duty done, and I will not be intimidated. Even with how things stand, you still refuse to concede. This may very well be your last chance. Your badge hangs by the thread. Then let it fall if it must. I have something far more important to protect as an associate attorney. My client. The gods of justice are no doubt saddened by your refusal to accept yet another offer of mercy. Attaboy, Miles. That's what I like to see. Looks like the defense never rests is really starting to mean something to you. Credit to your old man, though. He's the one who said it first. My father. In fact, I could swear I saw Gregory's spirit in you for a second there. You said that you've changed since your days in Von Karma Shadow. I didn't believe you at first, but I'm starting to. Thank you, Fender. Alright, kids. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Put your thinking caps on. It's make or break time. If it's true that Knight was off of a bladed weapon, does our whole case really fall apart? Oft means killed. So, literally, as Fender talks like a New Yorker, he says clink instead of jail, he says oft. That is a lot of New York slang. So, he talks a lot like a New Yorker. A bladed weapon, of course. There were 5 chisels in Canis' cell when we last looked. A former assassin certainly wouldn't struggle to commit murder with a tool like that. In which case, the weapon that killed a Knight was... One of them has a bell, and the dog has a bell on it too. Evidence is everything. It may be a little wild catchphrase, but it's also true. Have you quite finished? It will be in your interest to concede, and then Edgeworth says, hold it. Okay. So the murder weapon was a sharp blade. Then where is it? The guards didn't find it. Why can't you let this go? So what if they didn't find it? What are you driving at? What if I were to tell you that I now know what the real murder weapon was? And it was right under our noses the whole time. Indeed. It was one of Mr. Canis' chisels. What?
Overruled.
I would advise you to stop bombarding us with your irresponsible, half-baked theories, Mr. Edgeworth. Wait a second, wait. That chisel is tied to a bell. The chisel is tied to a bell. So, when the dog jumped, the chisel was attached to the dog. And when the dog jumped on Knight, it stabbed him in the throat. That's how he did it. That's the trick. You have repeatedly insisted that Mr. Knight was killed in his cell by a dog. I simply go where the evidence takes me, both in the courtroom and at the scene of the crime. If the murder weapon was in fact a chisel, then yes, the murder weapon could not have been the dog. But that begs the question of what exactly it was we saw in the security footage. Oh, yeah, the security footage. How do you explain that, Mr. Smarty Pants? An excellent question. The footage shows... the dog jumping on somebody. Mr. Kane is a dog jumping up at night. The dog attacked Knight, but he didn't kill the man. He didn't. No, Knight was merely knocked out. The dog didn't drag a corpse through the tunnel. He dragged an alive but unconscious Knight. The real killer was the dog's master. Oh, I get it. By bringing Knight here, Mr. Canis could finish the job. And he could definitely use one of his chisels to do it. Correct. You, body harm Canis, you're the, only one who could have done it.
Objection!
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you ever get this on your report card? Refuses to listen. Must learn to respect others. Are you asking me or confessing to what's on yours? We already snatched Mr. Canis' cell from top, searched Mr. Canis' cell from top to bottom, right, Cabell? Yes, we even inspected his chisels, all 4 of them. Wait, it's gone! There was a chisel with the bell. It's gone. It was here. It was here earlier. There wasn't a single speck of blood.
Hold it!
It's gone. Why, thank you, Your Honor. You've just confirmed my theory. I have? What exactly do you mean? The last time we were here, there were 5 chisels. Not 4. Oh yeah, I remember counting them. Definitely 5. Yeah, it's gone. And that one that's missing is the small one. The one we thought might be a pocket chisel. Mr. Canis, where did you hide that chisel? A pocket chisel? And what, use might I have such a thing, huh? I am rarely allowed to leave my cell. In which case, he shouldn't have had the chance to dispose of the weapon. You've dug your own grave, Mr. Canis. You seem to have an idea where this missing chisel might be, Mr. Edgeworth. Would you enlighten us? For a man who can't leave his cell of his own volition, Canis could only have hidden the chisel here. Maximum security here. Mr. Canis is still a prisoner. Despite the comfort he enjoys, he's rarely allowed out of his cell. He couldn't have given the chisel to his dog to leave somewhere. But that would have been far from ideal. He would have no way of guaranteeing where it might end up. Intriguing. Do go on, Mr. Edgeworth. Furthermore, this room is the one place where a bladed instrument wouldn't raise an eyebrow. 4 chisels, 5 chisels. Who's counting? A fact he took full advantage of. Ah, the old keep the incriminating evidence close routine. Classic.
Objection!
Oh, but I looked! I searched his whole cell myself, and there's nowhere he could have hidden it.
Objection!
I am certain that the murder weapon is here. And that the reason why no one's found it yet is because it was hidden in such an ingenious manner. Do enlighten us, Mr. Edgeworth. What was my ingenious plan? Think, Miles. There must be a hiding spot he could make use of. Think about when you came here previously. What are you missing? He's not showing us out permanently, right? Let's get out of here, come on. The dog, he hasn't made a sound today. Why does the dog have a different colored bell now? It has a white bell instead of yellow. When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Canis even encouraged him to do so. That must be it. I knew something was off. I can hardly believe it, but I think I know where he hid the murder weapon. Giving up already? I expect more of you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
As well as you should, if you would give me a moment. For this piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon. The dog.
Take that!
Your dog. He seems usually quiet today. Unusually quiet. Oh yeah, unlike last time when... Mr. Canis, if you would be so kind as to open Helmut's mouth. Oh, come now. He hasn't barked because he is a well-behaved boy. I had to order him last time. Then order him again, this instant. It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Canis. Or do you have something to hide? If you insist. Come on, Helmut, open up. There, it is. And there we have it. A chisel that small was easily enough for a dog the size... What? What? A chisel in the dog? Why is there a chisel in the dog? I thought he'd be strangely quiet. I guess his brain is finally caught up. Eustace, why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell them it's urgent. Okay. Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood, were detected on the chisel. I knew it. What? Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it? Heh. Alright, so we're all on the same page here. This is our murder weapon, yeah? The forensic evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede that this is most likely the case. Contains traces of blood hidden by Canis inside his dog's mouth. Has a small bell attached to it. Mr. Canis, in light of the discovery of the murder weapon, the court demands that you explain yourself. We found the route your dog took to the holding cells, and now we have the chisel. How do you propose to talk your way out of this one? You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth. Why does he always laugh like that, even when it's not funny? Poor Helmet. How could they suspect us? You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share with you the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have grown tired of killing. Something's not right. Why is he so calm? Very well, the court will hear Mr. Canis' testimony. If you would be so kind. Gladly. Canis' defense. Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been. I never knew this knight. I had no contact with him, no connection whatsoever. Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead? Could it be you are suggesting that it was my canine companion who had the motive instead? Helmet only bears his fangs when I tell him to. I already know what the answer is. The chess set is proof of his connection to Knight. I'm not so bloodthirsty that I will kill a man if I did not know. I mean, when he puts it that way. An assassin only kills his acquaintances. Not the soundest business model, I agree. My work required me to deal with strangers, of course, but murder for its own sake, that's not my style. So I need to prove a link between Knight and Canis. I should go over the evidence again and see what I can discover. Canis' defense. Okay. Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been.
Hold it!
I'm puzzled by his focus on motive. Aren't you an assassin? An assassin or not, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't spill blood for nothing. Neither in a professional nor in a private capacity. That's just not how it's done, is it, boy? No, it's not. I never knew this knight. I had no contact with him, no connection whatsoever.
Hold it!
You didn't know who he was? That's quite unlike you, Mr. Canis. You have overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. Perhaps you had a harder time putting me in here than I had realized, but I am no master criminal. That said, you are no run-of-the-mill prisoner either. You're the fixer, correct? I find it highly unlikely that a man in such a position would have no knowledge of the new detainee at all. Then you have a rather inflated idea of my position. I have my connections, yes, but I am not all-knowing. And I knew nothing of Mr. Knight. Yes, the chess diagram.
Objection!
I knew it, yeah. Because he was playing chess in correspondence with Knight. You're getting sloppy, Mr. Canis. You may have trained your dog to clean up your mess, but some things still require human touch. We found this in the victim's room. It's the record of a game of correspondence chess. What's more, the game depicted matches the game laid out on your board. What? The number of possible games has been calculated to be 10 at the power of 120, and that's in the low end. Wait, so that's 10 times 10, 120 times over 100, 1,000? I give up. I mean, what do you even call a number that big? A vanishingly unlikely coincidence, that's what. Now tell us why you killed Knight. Unless, that is, you prefer to explain the coincidence. Well, they do say the truth is stranger than fiction. It is, as you say, a coincidence. But that's totally impossible. We just proved that. A coincidence of a different kind, child. I never imagined my correspondence was the victim, you see. And yet here we are. Helmet is as surprised as I am. Aren't you, Helmet? Yes, yes. Knight was playing correspondence chess against Candace. Did the two have some sort of connection? I suppose there's nothing for it but to finally tell the truth, boy. The other prisoners had all gone to the yard, you see. There was a show of some sort, I believe. Here I was, minding my own business, when in comes Helmet, dragging a corpse of all things. I had quite the shock, not least because the murder weapon was still in the poor fellow's neck. Of course, I was none too keen on becoming a suspect, so I had Helmet take the body to the workshop. Once there, he removed the murder weapon and brought it back to me, just as I had asked. The dog pulled out the murder weapon in the workshop. Indeed he did. Removing it here would have made an awful mess after all. You know something, that makes total sense. Remember what Mr. Sowett said, Mr. Edgeworth? The huge black dog had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat. What did you just say? It was hellish, utterly hellish. That beast, that awful beast, he killed him. I see. So what Mr. Stout actually saw was Helmet removing the murder weapon then. Precisely. I can't say I wasn't a little disappointed that he was spotted, of course. Silly boy, it's not like you to slip up like that, is it now? And there you have it. That is about all there is to tell. I did not kill the man, at most. I am responsible for the removal of the weapon. Now, will that be all? Poor Helmet is growing restless.
Objection!
Sorry, but if you could entertain us just for a little longer, Mr. Canis. Fender. No offense, Paolo, but I don't think you've quite told us everything. I'm sure we'd all like to know why you thought you needed to pull the chisel out in the first place. He's right. It makes sense that he would remove the body to avoid suspicion, but Canis had no reason at all to recover the murder weapon. So the mute on this one isn't as dumb as I thought. Please answer the question, Mr. Canis. It was because of the bell. The one attached to this chisel, and the one around Helmet's neck. Have a very distinctive design, if you will. Of course, they were something of a trademark of yours, were they not? I don't get it. How does that even work? Bodhihar Canis, the blind butcher. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. The last sound of his victims would ever hear. You flatter me. Though it's been some years since you last saw one of them, you remember them well. Your knife and its attached bell were one of the pieces of evidence seized in our case against you. Yes, it was but one of my bells, yet only one of only two in existence. Just two. Two and only two. One for my knife, and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guides after all, and I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me. Only two such bells exist. One is attached to Helmet the dog, the other to Canis' knife, which was seized by the police during his arrest. When Helmet brought the body to my cell, I was rather surprised to hear a familiar sound. At first, I was sure that my knife had been used to do the deed. But no, a chisel. An ordinary chisel. Certainly no assassin's blade. Nonetheless, the bell would have suggested my involvement. Compounding the matter is the fact that I am the only person in this prison permitted to use such tools. It was clear that I would become the prime suspect. And so, the chisel had to be removed and hidden.
Hold it!
You still claim that all you did was have the dog move the body. That you had nothing to do with the killing. How could I? I told you, the chisel is not mine. You need not take my word, Mr. Edgeworth. Why not have it checked for fingerprints? Eustace. Huh? Me? But I don't know how to check for prints. Get forensics. Oh, right. Sure thing. Ooh, We got him, fingerprints. They're Mr. Knight's. What? And Mr. Knight's? No, just Mr. Knight's. Oh, and forensics said there's no sign of any prints having been wiped off. Only Knight's fingerprints. This isn't good. But there's one thing that I'm thinking about right now. There's one thing I just noticed. How did he put it in the dog's mouth? Unless he trained the dog to pick it up, because he would have touched it in his cell. How did Mr. Canis not get his fingerprints on it? Should I get them to check again? Now do you see? I have never been so much as touched that chisel. Helmet carried it in his mouth. That is all. But we saw it on the table earlier. Therefore, any prints must belong to whoever had it last. So the murder weapon belonged to the victim. Oh, that's not helpful. As I said, I have not touched the chisel. Therefore, I cannot be the killer. Or do you wish to suggest otherwise? But he could have just trained him to remove the bell instead of just to bring the whole chisel, too. But how did he get the bell in the first place? How did the killer get the bell if he's innocent? I'm gonna encounter with. But what could this mean? Is he not the killer after all? Is he actually telling the truth? No, he can't be. I'm sure this goes without saying, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you do not find a solution to your current predicament, and quickly, I will have little choice but to relieve you of your badge. Oh, come on. Even my patience is the limit. I will not tolerate you throwing this investigation into chaos. Am I clear? You've done it now, sir. She's serious. I hate to admit it, but fingerprints turn everything on its head. Without more evidence, I'm back to square one. Wait, something doesn't add up. A few things, actually. What would Mr. Knight have needed a chisel for? Yeah. You can do a lot with a chisel, child. Break out of prison, for one. Alright, then. How did he get it in here? There's no way the guards would let him bring a super sharp tool in with him. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Hey, Earth to Mr. Edgeworth. You can't stand there hemming and having just because of a little setback. The important thing is finding the truth, you know? Doesn't matter how we get there. As long as we save Simeon in the end. We can't give up now, or ever. Yeah, what she said. I'll second that. You won me around with that, Kay. I'm half tempted to offer you a job for real. So like I said, the defense never rests. Or rather, like your pop said, what do you think lies at the heart of those words, Miles? Any guesses? The heart of those words. It's like this, as defense attorneys, our client's fate rests on our shoulders. We're the only ones they can turn to. Simeon's our client, and we're the only ones who can save him. So, we can't rest, not while he's counting on us. I'm not about to turn my back on your old man's legacy. Are you? I'm an associate with the defense now. No, I'm an associate with my father's firm. That's the role I have chosen. And that means that if I fail to save my client, I have failed in my duties. I will honor my father's vision and save Simeon. No matter what setbacks I face, I cannot admit defeat. If one path is blocked, I must simply find another. There we go. That's Miles Edgeworth, I know. So, what if Knight was the one who requested the chisel, but he requested it through Body Harma? And because Body Harma can smuggle stuff into prison, he somehow got that in for him. They did it through their chess game. That was the correspondence. Now let's find that new path forward. We can start by trying to figure out how Mr. Knight, brought that chisel into the prison. Right. How would Knight have managed to bring a chisel in here? A pocket chess set, but... Pocket chess set.
Take that!
Usually it wouldn't be possible to bring a metal object into this facility undetected. Because of the security gates, right? Correct. But we already know that checks at one of the gates haven't been entirely thorough of late. Namely, the gate at the entrance to the detention center. That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory search. Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through the metal detector? It should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late. Knight took advantage of this little oversight, and had Mr. Saint bring him the chisel. Hid it inside his pocket chess set. That does answer one of our questions. and suggested that chisel was indeed Mr. Knight's and not Mr. Canis's. Knight hid a chisel in here to prevent it from being found by the prison staff. However, we still have one rather pressing problem to address. That of the security footage when Mr. Knight is attacked by a dog. How does one explain it if Mr. Canis was not the culprit? But then, how do you explain his prints not being on the murder weapon? That one's a real three-piper. The court, too, finds itself wanting for a satisfactory explanation.
Wait, sir, I think it might be time to show you another one of my secret weapons. Introducing secret weapon number 4. Little V, what's that?
What sort of name is that, detective?
I came up with it myself, sir. Anyway, you can use it to analyze the video footage.
An excellent idea. Perhaps then you might finally see that I'm telling the truth. Who knows if there's anything to be found, but it has to be worth a try.
Alright, want me to talk you through how to use it, sir?
Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with video analysis techniques, perhaps I should hear him out. Sure, why not? If you could run me through its functions, detective, that would be most appreciated.
Yes, sir. So basically, you just gotta do what you always do. Examine anything that catches your eye. And I can examine things with triangle lights, see? Next up, see those controls at the bottom of the screen? The panels on the left and right let you rewind or fast forward. And you can use the middle one to pause. Get used to those things and you're golden, sir. It seems I can also press R1 to fast forward or L1 to rewind the footage.
And I can press X to pause.
When the video is paused, you can get to the previous frame with L1 or the next frame with R1. Or just use the same control panels I showed you earlier. Lastly, I better explain how to zoom in. Just line up the old cursor with the area you want to take a closer look at, then use the panel in the bottom right, and little V will do the rest. It's got those 2 expanding arrows right on it. Can't miss it, sir.
It would appear I can zoom in by pressing square too.
By the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff, just like in regular view. Also, you can make use of previous and next frame to get a good look at what's really happening. Only thing you can't do when you're zoomed in is play the footage, so there's that.
I see. And how do I zoom out again?
Just use the panel in the lower right again, sir. See how it's gone from expanding to collapsing arrows on there? That's because you're zoomed in. That's about sums it up. Now let's fire little V and up for real. Remember, just examine anything that catches your eye and you'll do fine.
The footage from Knight's holding cell. Other than the victim being attacked by that dog, I can't see what else it might show us. But suppose we're wrong. What could we be looking for instead? Could the footage, the person in the footage somewhere, be someone other than Knight? And if so, could whatever is attacking be something else too? You should keep both questions in mind, or reviewing the footage.
You never know what you're gonna see once you start looking at things up close.
It could be the monkey. It could be Saint's monkey, that's what I think.
Check every detail, sir. You'll find something, I'm sure.
Well, this footage seems odd. He's dressed in a... I see it. I already see it. He's dressed as a corrections officer. Must be seeing things. I should take another look. If nothing else seems obvious for us, zooming in might help. The devil is in the details after all. This figure's reflecting the mirror here too. Is that a hat?
Say, doesn't that look like the hats and the guards wear, sir? Oh geez, is that what I think it is?
Have there been any reports of one of the animals attacking a guard recently?
Not that I've heard of, sir.
So this may not be a guard at all, but somebody dressed as one. Perhaps this might shed a little light on the matter of the hat. Missing guard uniform, stolen from guard's locker in a center corridor on March 26th. So no guards have reported being attacked by an animal, as far as we know. But we did hear about a guard's spare uniform being stolen. Could that person in the security footage perhaps be someone disguised as a guard? Someone attempting to escape without being noticed?
A guard disguise? I guess it might work. Wait, weren't we just talking about someone?
We were indeed someone who seemed to have successfully made his escape. If the person in the footage is a knight, then the creature may not be a dog either.
You're right, sir. Let's zoom in and check.
This does not look to me like a dog. Wait, that's... I suspect we may have made a critical error of judgment. What we're looking at here is no dog. This animal is... It's a bear, I think. That's not a dog, it's a bear. What? So the paw prints from the photo I took were not canine, but ursine. The photo of the tunnel between the prison and detention center shows paw prints made by a bear.
A bear? So that could mean...
Mr. Carceretto. Yes, I think it could. After all, who else do we know is such a pet? We'd assume that it was Knight in the security footage. Well, it was his cell. It's hardly a crazy theory. Perhaps. But now that we know about the hole under the bed, it's no longer, the only possibility. Whoever had access to the tunnel could very well be the one caught on camera. And who is that, Mr. Edgeworth? Who would you care, to tell the courts who you believe this person to be? The person in the security footage is... Rocco Carceretto. Yeah, inmate and former boxer. It's Rocco.
Take that!
I believe I know who our guard in disguise is. It's none other than Rocco Carceretto, the prisoner who had recently escaped from this facility. I'm confident it's him because he was assigned a polar bear cub as his companion. But the bear in that video is all black. Indeed, and we have evidence that explains why. The evidence that explains the polar bear's dark fur is... the tunnel.
Take that!
No, because I was thinking he got dirty in the tunnel. It's not right, it's not right. The gloves,
Take that!
Recall, if you will, Mr. Frank Sowit's testimony. That's the rubber glove I dropped. Would you care to explain why it's so dirty? Oh, of course. That's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened. I see. Around what time would this have been? Let's see. The show already started, so around 9 AM perhaps. The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance quite like the trance one enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud. While the circus performance was underway, he was giving one of the animals a mud pack treatment. And that animal could have been, indeed, our polar bear. Mr. Edgeworth, your latest assertion simply introduces yet another contradiction. The footage from the security camera... I fully understand, Your Honor, and your doubts are entirely justified. Mr. Sowit mentioned applying the mud pack while the circuit performance was underway. And this does indeed introduce a new contradiction concerning the security footage. It does. Yes, let's put it this way. When would you expect the footage to have been recorded, Kay? If it was taken right after he applied the mud pack treatment, it should have been around 9 AM. In which case, something isn't right about the footage. Really? And what's that? What new contradiction does the security footage introduce relative to when it was recorded? The time.
Take that!
Mr. Stout said he administered the treatment at around 9 a.m. In which case, the security footage should also show a time of around 9. However, the timestamp says 6:42 a.m. On the day of the murder, the prisoners all went out to the yard to watch the circus. All except 3, Mr. Canis, who remained in his cell in his maximum security, Mr. Stout, who was administering a mud pack treatment in the workshop, and Rocco Carceretto, who had been awaiting that precise moment to put his escape plan into action. I believe he entrusted the bear to Mr. Stout before entering the tunnel. And the bear then slipped out of Mr. Stout's grasp to run after its human. Mr. Stout then left the workshop to pursue the bear, at which point he saw Mr. Canis' dog retrieving the murder weapon from the knight's body. It all fits perfectly except for the security footage, which should have been recorded from around 9 a.m. However, the timestamp is 3 hours off. But why would the timestamp be wrong? Detective, I would like you to have the security camera examined right away, please.
I'm back, sir. I just talked to the guards and... Seems like the time codes can slip on these cameras if they lose power.
What? What? He said it too.
They're pretty old, sir. Guess that clock stops when the power's off.
Oh my god. Why would you have such out-of-date cameras in a prison, especially a prison that has maximum security people in it? Which would mean the power was off for approximately 3 hours at some point. The timestamp is off due to a 3-hour gap in the footage. This was actually recorded around 9 a.m.
That's not all, sir. You remember how Knight denied stealing the keys? No one believed him considering, well, you know, he seemed kind of like the only suspect. Turns out, that wasn't all he said. He also said he was knocked out cold, just like the other guy.
Which may not necessarily have been a lie. Darlings, there you all are. How goes the investigation? Is there anything I can do to help things along? Actually, there might be something we can do for you, Warden Lagarde. The escapee, Mr. Carceretto, I believe he may still be on the premises. He is disguised as a guard. Here's the proof, should you need it. We're reasonably certain that the person captured on this tape is our man. And if I'm correct, he might even be right here in this room with us now. Hey, Mr. Carceretto would have been wearing a bracelet, right? Yes, a bracelet that could easily be hidden under the sleeves of his stolen uniform. Furthermore, the doors out of the prison proper don't have those sensors that detect the bracelets installed. So if he avoided the doors with sensors, he could simply be waiting for opportunity to finally make his escape. Well, yes, I suppose he could. He'd just have to avoid the workshops and the cells and... Oh my. He's one of you, isn't he? He's right here, right now. Oh, the bear. Look, it's Teddy. Hey, pause off. Get your mitts off me, you big palooka. Thank you, Teddy. Very kind of you to confirm our suspicions. Urgh. Dang it, kid. If it wasn't for you, Ida... What a thing it is to be loved, huh, Mr. Carceretto? I'm almost envious. Guards, apprehend this man. A moment, if you will. I have some questions for our would-be escapee. If we are to learn the truth, I will need to speak with him. With your permission, of course. I can hardly say no now, can I? Well, come on then, hit me with your best shot. Mr. Carceretto's escape route led directly to Knight's cell. So it's highly possible he has something to offer. Tell me what you were doing on the day Mr. Knight's body was discovered. Around the time of discovery. So it's you guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? I had me a guard's uniform, a hole dug, and a plan in place, so I went for it on the day you found the guy. But then this little guy just had to come right after me. The sack of fur was covered in mud, too. Had to go back to our cell. I would have gotten away with it, too, if somebody had an off night and brought you bums down here. You claimed to have dug that tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it? How? Used everything I could get my hands on, see? Hammer, spoons, you name it. Spent every dime I had on this, cockamamie fixer. And what do I get to show for it now, huh? Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow's another day. There's an outside chance, Mr. Carceretto and Knight met face-to-face just before Knight's death. I should see what other details I can extract from him. Around the time of discovery. So it's you guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel.
Hold it!
The tunnel, shut up! Who you telling to hold it? Tunnel, you said, you don't know nothing. You don't know what I had to do. Had to come crawling to the, a fixer monk. Had to grovel and, kowtow the day after day after day. How you gonna give me, back the hours, huh? The days, the months. Can't get a word in, edgewise. You should never have stuck your nose in my tunnel, never! You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing?
Hold it!
So the tunnel was all your own work. Every inch. You see anybody else in my cell, when you was there, That's quite an effort, even for an athlete. Yeah, now that I think of it, that is an insane amount of digging for one guy. Yeah, well, you don't even know the half of it, kid. But it ain't like I had a choice. Trust nobody and don't get caught. Them's the rules a con's gotta live by. You know the rules of being a great thief are pretty similar. Hey, rather you didn't start sympathizing with the suspect. I was. Just joking, Mr. Edgeworth. It ain't no stinking joke to me. You punks owe me. I had me a guard's uniform, a hole dug, and a plan in place, so I went for it on the day you found the guy. The uniform, was that from the fixer too? Uh-huh, sure was. Heard he had something, on one of the guards. Had the guy swipe it from a pal's locker. And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel? Nope, would've got dirt on it. Had to hold on to it, till I got to the holding cell. Once I was out of there, and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Here we go, I thinks. Freedom beckons. And then the furball here jumps at me. Which would be the moment captured on camera. I see. I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony. Once I was out of that tunnel and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake.
Hold it!
Opening a cell door should have been a piece of cake, you say. Sure, anything seems easy after dragging yourself through a hole in the ground. And you were familiar with the layout of the detention center, even though you live in the prison. Why wouldn't I be? It ain't like I've never been there before. If he's familiar with the detention center, then he'd surely be aware that unlike doors in the main prison, the holding cell doors are locked with actual keys. And I'm sure Mr. Carceretto would have needed that particular piece of evidence to make his escape. Once I was out of that tunnel and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. The keys. Mr. Knight's cell key.
Objection!
You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it. Yeah, you got a problem with that? Because we, can make it a problem if you catch my drift. Even once you had reached Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly do you plan on opening it? Mr. Carceretto, I posit that leaving that cell would have been a piece of cake only because you had the key. I don't got no stinking key. I, didn't need one. It was a piece of cake because the door's open. I walked right out. No. Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would have been no reason to lock it. And it was indeed unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you finally succeeded today, it truly was unlocked because it was after the murder. But you had attempted to escape previously. Yeah, the security footage shows when you tried and failed because Teddy caught you. Which was during the circus performance, before the body was discovered. The holding cell was still locked at that time, because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would not have been possible. Are you saying, could he really have? I believe he could have, yes. The theft of the keys was in fact perpetrated by none other than Mr. Carceretto. He is the one who attacked the guard. But not just the guard, Knight too. All in possession, to gain possession of the guard's keys. It wasn't me, you lousy bum. I didn't even know this Knight guy. After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape, a moment when the prison would be almost deserted. That's right, the moment of the show, just before the discovery of the body. Unlucky for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend. Says who, huh? You got proof, genius? This ain't your win yet, nuh-huh. Knight knocked the guard out for the count, and everybody knows it. Don't play games with me, Knight. Knight was as much a victim as the guard in this case. As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell. Yeah, Mr. Knight's body, this. A small cut on his head, this. That proves it? Indeed it does.
Overruled.
Why is this wrong? This shouldn't be wrong. Well, I guess the blood in the cell, but killed instantly by a stab wound. There's also a small cut on the scalp from when he suffered a blow to the head. Yeah, that is from that's from Carceretto. But this, the white floor. Yeah, this would be it. The evidence of his body should have been good too, because he had a previous wound also. He got punched. We found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing, other than him having been attacked? And it was you who attacked him. You ambushed the both of them and stole the keys. Why I oughta? What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found it. Okay, but why did you think you had to wipe it up anyway? If they checked Knight in the guard's hands, they would have seen those two never came to blows. But that blood would give up the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure there was a third man in the ring. Plus, once they started sniffing around on the floor, they'd found the tunnel in a heartbeat. So you wiped up the blood to buy yourself a little more time, so you could wait for a better opportunity. Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys. Right. In the kisser. KO'd by a lousy stinking bum. Knocked out, that means. Fine. You want the keys here. Hope you choke on them. A guard was attacked the day before the murder, and his keys were stolen. They were found in Carceretto's possession. Wait a moment. If Mr. Carceretto here had the keys. Indeed, Your Honor. Your theory relies on Knight having used the keys to allegedly, the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that a theory cannot possibly be true. No! Guess this changes things up a bit, yeah. Now the only person who could have moved Knight's body is the one person who knew about that tunnel. No, you gotta be freaking...
Mr. Carceretto, you're under arrest. Come quietly now, pal.
Wait, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do nothing. Alright, fine. I knocked those two chumps out and I stole the keys. But after that, I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time I went to Knight's cell, there was nobody around. And I mean nobody. Plus, his body was found in the workshop. You think I just magicked my way in there or something? I couldn't even have gotten out of my cell. Indeed, you only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell in the back in the prison. But Mr. Canis' dog could. What? If it was not you, but Helmet who moved the body from your cell to the workshop. I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only con in this conspiracy. Indeed. One can easily imagine Mr. Carceretto and Mr. Canis might have worked together. Mr. Carceretto could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell.
And then Mr. Canis' dog took him from there to the workshop.
There are no restrictions on animals' movements within the prison. Movements between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. And here's the thing is, If the chisel was stuck inside Knight's neck, it would not leave a blood trail. Probably not, because here's the thing is, if a knife is actually stuck in somebody, the blood oftentimes is not going to come out until the knife is taken out or the blade is taken out, because the blade basically is stopping the blood from coming out. So that's why the blood was the chisel was only taken out in the workshop. There was only one possible route, and only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Carceretto. How can you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of them, and you just don't know. So, something tells me that digging even a single tunnel was arduous enough. You got that right. You tried scrapping more than one hole in the dirt with a spoon. Luckily for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me. What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself? Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell. Ran all the way from there to the wall in the yard already. Even looked down the well to check it from there. It was the same tunnel, alright. I just made good on what somebody else already started. Then what was the original tunnel for? Who knows? You're the one with all the answers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out. Oh, or maybe the animals dug it. Like to get water from the well or something. I've heard of more plausible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay. Well's dry, kid. Ain't no water to be had down there. Though, come to think of it. A smell. Yeah, always smelled kind of nice down there. Nice. Gee, I don't know. Smelled sort of like dessert, I guess. Like dessert. Knight's body. A sweet scent can be detected. There was also a sweet scent on Mr. Knight's body, too. A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. Where did we come across a sweet scent before? Knight's body.
Take that!
Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of a police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced its route back through the prison. And that, Mr. Carceretto, was how we found your tunnel. Could that same sweet scent be what you noticed coming from the well? Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this is evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel? I do. Furthermore, Mr. Carceretto, you were the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access. You have our thanks, Mr. Carceretto. Truly. Finally, the truth comes into view. Now, unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident. What? You ain't pinning this on me. I'm glad to see that we are finally in agreement, Your Honor. Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Carceretto may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
What do you mean? I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe that he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole. You gotta be kidding me. Granted, it seems likely that he attacked Mr. Knight. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was knocked unconscious as a result. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Carceretto had reached a certain agreement? What kind of agreement, exactly? Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required a means of leaving his cell. And here was that precise means in the form of the keys Mr. Carceretto had just stolen from the guard. Mr. Carceretto himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. Mr. Knight needed only to shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Carceretto's plans would be ruined. And so, the two struck a deal. Lady, the only striking I do is with my fists. My, still you deny it. So, we're agreeing that we still disagree? Mr. Knight had Mr. Carceretto unlock his cell door, so that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. Mr. Saint was then able to move him into the prison proper just as planned. Aha! And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop, and he did the dirty deed.
Objection!
Were neither of you listening? The scent of Knight's body proves that it was taken through the tunnel. It was moved from his cell to the... Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel. Then what are you driving at? Is that a trick question? Alright, as you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell. Huh? Then how did it get down there? There's another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. From Mr. Carceretto's cell? The well in the yard. Could a body not have been entered the tunnel from there? The well in the yard. Oh yeah, that thing. Mr. Saint did not take the case to the workshop, he took it outside. There he killed Mr. Knight. And threw his body down the well. Mr. Canis' dog then dragged Mr. Knight's body here to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. No, no, no. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery? The circus show, right? Regina and Simeon were performing for everyone. Wait. Simeon. Ah! But that's... She doesn't have direct evidence for that. No, that's... Yeah, she does not have direct evidence for this. She doesn't. Indeed. This is all... It's suspicious, but it's not direct. Indeed. And so you have... It's all circumstantial, that's what it is. And you see how it must have also been him who disposed of the body. Jessica Bell is a truly formidable opponent. She so effortlessly adjusted her theory to fit the facts. I suppose Mr. Knight was taken in a yard, not the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Saint was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw the body down the well. I am sure you will agree.
Objection!
Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that Knight's body was indeed thrown down the well, you cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time. My sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth, but simply could not have. What? Mr. Carceretto was using the tunnel around the time the show began. Mr. Carceretto, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there? No. Place was clean. If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Carceretto would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing. Okay, which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. How are you gonna get around this? Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the wall and moved to the workshop. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint? What did we do, Mr. Edgeworth? The body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well. Things don't look good for Mr. Saint still. Your Honor, your theory is still just that, a theory. And I posit that you lack the evidence to back it up. I concede that for the moment, I do not. May I suggest that we investigate the yard again? Very well. May the gods of justice go with you. Now then, to the yard. Perhaps we can finally put this case to rest. What the? What's that sound? Yikes, is there a fire?
Did somebody else escape?
Should we maybe skip town too? Darlings, please. There's nothing to be alarmed about. By which I mean, that's not an alarm, it's a dinner bell. Although I suppose it's rather alarming if you aren't used to it. It certainly scared the heck out of me. I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea. I hope you can forgive us. Alright, you two. Back to your post. Chop chop. And as for you, Rocco Carceretto, it's time you went back to your room. Fine. I get the picture. Well, he still has the tunnel in the room. You gotta patch it up. Come on, Teddy. We're out of here. Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look around the yard now. Oh, darlings, don't you have homes of your own to go to? Visiting hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow, No, it's imperative we investigate it right away. I think we've had quite enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees, so eventful. It's time our guests went home to Betty Bites, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is. Why doesn't she want us investigating it? Come on now, darling. Don't make me bore you with all that. I am the warden. This is an order. Nonsense. Warden Lagarde is right. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes. Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation off the yard will have to wait until tomorrow. You may keep your badge for now. The matter of your standing can wait. I bid you all good day. I'm convinced the warden is hiding something now. Now I'm convinced she's hiding something. What are you waiting for, kittykins? Off you go. Fine. At least there is a tomorrow for me. Judge Cavell believes that Knight's body was dropped down the well, and then taken through Mr. Carcero's cell to the workshop. But is that truly the case? Do the facts really support her theory? He also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But was he really the only one with the opportunity to do so? Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simeon. I know we will. Yes, we will. I'll prove that Mr. Saint is innocent, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh, I guess it ends here. Well, this case is getting kind of good. It's a really long case, though, too, for the second case. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.